Right. Anyway, plan was to wait for Huge or I make the choice. Unfortunately, he's not here yet. Mamaya, wala pa siya, ano. So I will make the choice myself. But summary lang is choosing moving on would uh, add to the relationship of Hana and Luke. And keep listening pareho maapektuhan na negative. Anyway, I'll just keep listening. Because, double negative. Pati na-empty natin yung kay Luke. So, kay Hana, mataas pa naman yun. I don't usually care for the private affairs of my clients. As I consider if I should lurk a little longer, I miss what else said. All I know is that the topic has somehow moved on from pets to children.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
The regret sinks in fast. Why can't I just keep to myself and mind my own business like I usually do, of all the times to be curious? Lorraine, bless her soul, once told me that there are 3 things I shouldn't do unless I want to be on the shit list of the social elites. First, don't mess with their livelihood. Whatever business they have that made them and keeps them rich is something they need to protect. Whether it's some multi-million company or some sort of state secret, they keep that close to their chest. Businesses that challenged legal matters and moral issues aside, unless they profited from criminal conduct, it's best to steer away and avoid being their competition. Second, don't mess with their affairs, especially the married sort. It's messy business just to even gossip about. And worse, actually be the other woman. I'm towing the line with this rule as it is because of whiskey. And the third thing,
Of all the times to be as sharp as a beach ball and as slow as a sloth, Marianne.
well, the third thing rings true for just about anyone, really. Don't mess with their family. Of course, she used the word mess quite loosely. And I think that what I'm doing now falls under the multiple definitions it could take. Listening to this, something so undoubtedly private, is a great way to get in trouble.
But I do think you...
True. So we went. Never mind. He went. Yeah.
Don't finish that sentence, Hannah. Just don't. We know how this discussion ends. Let's not fight over what ifs and if onlys.
But what if we are going to have a family, Luke? What then?
Games. Dudut. Wait lang. Salita nga ulit.
Hello, hello.
Isa pa.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, channel. Hello, channel.
Yeah. Anyway, since ngayon ka lang, I already made the choice.
Oh no.
Basically, the choice was to move on or keep listening. Basically, naririnig niya yung usapan ni Luke at ni Hannah about sa anak thing. And yung choice is move on or keep listening. Pag nag-move on ka, yung relationship ni Hannah at ni Luke madadagdagan. But pag nagano ka, keep listening, parehong mababawasan. Si Hannah at si Luke. So I
So
just
you will
thought na mataas pa naman yung kay
minus.
Hana. And gusto ko talaga pababain yung kay Luke. Then, it's not really... But, I kept. I chose keep listening. Now
Okay,
we're
okay.
here. Pero matapos na nito kasi was there.
Oh. Okay, okay.
I just told you. No what ifs.
We won't talk about it until you're ready.
Let's not talk about it then. Ever.
I walk away as far and as fast as I can while still carrying the box until I'm a good distance off in the foyer. I even risk my neck taking the steps down 2 at a time before quickly handing off the kitchenware to Johan.
You really shouldn't run down those stairs. You might slip and break your neck. And that isn't a pretty way to go.
Yep.
I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Wouldn't want anything to happen to my pretty neck.
That's foreshadowing, Kasi diba nakita mo na yung on how she dies.
Yes.
Why do you think I wear a scarf?
Because they're comfortable? Other than that, they're still serious choking hazards. You might be wearing your own noose.
Cut the morbid stuff and let's get these things where they belong.
My kitchen, my rules. If you have somewhere else to go, which I'm sure you have, you may leave the area to me.
Yes.
Well, I still have to check a few things there, if you don't mind.
How many times do you need to check every room?
75.
34.
Are you sure you're not just looking for this secret recipe of my Kirby soup? Because I'll have you know, it is all in my head.
Kirby soup. Let's go. Kirby soup.
Kirby soup. Is it soup?
Kirby soup. It's pumpkin soup.
Oh. Pumpkin soup.
Hmm.
Very, very timely.
Pumpkin soup, yeah. Very, very tight. Well, ano na rin kasi anong date ba ngayon? Natin. Is it? Di ko lang basta malapit na yung Halloween sa kanila so I guess that's why the pumpkin soup.
I like to be thorough with my work. I'm sure you understand.
He shrugs as we enter the kitchen. The box is quickly placed on one of the countertops and he sets to work quietly. Occasionally, he would ask me to take one thing or another and place it someplace else, but for the most part, I'm left thinking about what I just heard. That talk of children and Mrs. Wright's insistence on getting that room, could it be? No, she doesn't look it, but of course, it could just be too early to show. And if she is, does whiskey know? It really didn't sound like it. What do I care though? Oh, aside from the fact that I may be working with a pregnant woman, will have a baby in the near future, and this place isn't exactly up to modern safety standards. The slightest possibility that this might be the case only makes me worried. I'll have to do a better job than what I usually do. The movers work efficiently even when they're left alone, and they do quick work of their responsibilities. The head foreman comes, standing in the doorway, to consult me on this or that, and I have to go help out every now and then. But they pretty much have everything up to standards. They skip lunch entirely, not even realizing when they do so. Nevertheless, all is well as the butler gets to heating up the leftover bubble and squeak from breakfast and makes a generous batch of fish and chips for them. Most likely simple in comparison to what he serves to the Wrights, but well done nonetheless.
That smells good. Want to wrap up some for me to go?
An idle observation more than anything, my thoughts as they are preoccupied.
If there are any left. One can't go wrong with fish and chips. Everyone loves them. Even my husband. And he's American.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, we
And how-
already know.
His American husband.
Kasi yung ano niya, husband niya, yung hubby niya. Like,
Baka ano,
Does
house
he-
husband. House
Yung-
husband siya, house husband.
does he live abroad? Or, you know, and nasa UK din ba?
We don't know.
I really do hate getting so up close and personal with my clients. A distraction. It's obvious to me that I've gotten my priorities all wrong when I can't help but think about what I heard, what I learned about the right couple. These things have a way of creeping up on a person, thoughts, ideas, whether they are fact or fiction. They creep up and fester, crawl and writhe in a way that twists. I hear giggling, delighted and mocking. They creep up and the sensation of fingers ghosting briefly on my arm causes me to freeze and hiss.
Don't!
I have to... Don't! No! Unhand me! I half expect her to be there.
Whoa, no need to scream bloody murder! It's just me. Quiet down before you break glass.
But it's just whiskey.
Don't do that again! Ever!
I don't like being scared, though I don't believe in the likes of spooks. Being startled is not on top of the list of things Marianne liked. Lucky for him, I have nothing within reach, or he would have gotten on friendly terms with something like a rolling pin.
What was with that reaction? Were you really scared? Has Johann's been telling you ghost stories? He just loves to scare people. Isn't that right, Brother Gurium?
Brother Grimm. The butler's expression is unreadable. I hardly see any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. But neither of them spoke, even as Johann leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're
Dinid mo yung
alone,
amo.
Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
The what?
Dinid mo niya yung amo niya.
Oo nga eh. Gangster.
Madas talaga si Johan.
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children. Timmy, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there. The ghosts are going to get you.
Timmy,
Manay talaga ang puta.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is anyway, no? Like I said, I was just thinking.
would be a relief, actually, if those rumors of this place being haunted is true. That just means I'm not going bonkers. Well, lucky for you, it is true.
Yes, you're not going bonkers.
Hearing, let alone seeing, a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. But
No, it is not.
what does she think she's experiencing? Like, hindi na normal na ano yun eh. Ano to? Delusion yun eh. Kasi di ba yung nangyari kay Marianne, yung sa picture frame yung kinari. That's no longer delusion, bro.
Ano, mali mo, ano siya? Ano yun?
Ano?
Paranoia.
Pwede. Sure, it means there would be such things such as ghouls and goblins.
Bless you, bro. Bless you.
but at least I'd be sane. On the other hand, there would actually be a dead girl walking around.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright, you haven't noticed anything weird here?
Simple enough question on the surface, yet I notice the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction intently, but in his eyes I see something dangerous.
That depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted? Because no, things have not started to fly around and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really. Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it. But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that.
The boogeyman. Ano ba si the boogeyman? What is he exactly?
Baba Yaga.
Si Baba Yaga, I know Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga is a witch, di ba? Tama ba?
Yes.
Pero si the boogeyman, kasi ano like sabihin natin, pag sinabi natin si Slenderman, we know what Slenderman looks like, di ba? Yan, si Baba Yaga, we know that she's a witch. Pero si boogeyman, what does he look like and like saan ba siya connected? Like, is he the one, you know yung the monster under your bed? Ganun ba siya? Or is he like Babadook? Kailan mo ba si Babadook?
Alam ko boogeyman is usually ano ba? Usually is yung monster beneath the bed or
Yung sa
in
closet.
the closet. Yes, closet.
The boogeyman. Search nga natin, Google nga natin. Who is the boogeyman? Boogeyman, also spelled boogeyman or boogeyman. Any of a variety of fictional and oftentimes folkloric monsters described in stories designed to frighten children. So yun nga, yeah, I think you're right, yung nasa ilalim ng kama and nasa closet. Yes. He'll go out of the closet. I'm gay.
I'm non-binary.
I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
And cancelled.
Cancelled.
Joke lang. For the viewers that are, in the LTFRB community, it's a joke. Don't cancel us. Anyway.
No strange men or women lurking about then?
A dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. But yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't going to go over well. Anong movie yun? Sixth Sense ba? Kung saan na-popularize yung line na to, yung I see dead people. Is it The Sixth Sense?
Not sure.
Hindi
ko napanood yung The Sixth Sense. Not sure.
The Sixth Sense. Yep.
Hindi ko pa napapanood yun.
It's an old movie. 1999. Yung bata nagsabi nun.
Si Bruce Willis yun, di ba?
Bruce Willis ba? Let me check.
Alam ko Bruce Willis yun. Bruce Willis yun.
Oh, wow. Sabi ko si Bruce Willis, Armageddon eh. I'm gonna stay. I named my wrong song. I'm leaving on a jet
plane.
Pero alam ko nandun din yung kantang yun eh. Yung I can stay away just to hear you. Tama ba?
Not sure. Ang nag-stick sa akin yung ano. Okay.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Anyway.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anyone suspicious, and you report it. Immediately.
I think that goes without saying.
The concern he have... What he have? Di ba daw, he has?
Oo nga.
The concern he has on the talk of security is quickly gone. His arrogant, smug smirk returns, if a bit subdued. Whatever smarmy remark or innuendo he has at the ready never comes, though, as voices from the dining hall ring out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least not all the time.
That would be the magazine photographer, I presume. As always, Mrs. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion, no matter who she's talking with. It certainly puts people at ease around her. Sounds like it's working on the photographer too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood. At least, if his small scowl is anything to go by. Is he jealous? Siyempre, negative tayo. Ano ba?
Gago mag-zero na yan. Uy, pagka mag-zero na yan, for sure.
Ano ba yung negative dito? Ito, ask if he's alright?
I think yung ask if he's alright.
Hey, are you alright there, Whiskey?
No!
You're looking like you need a serious drink.
No!
Shit, I was wrong.
The mood.
You're not gonna go out there and join Mrs. Wright?
Yes. Fuck you.
Zero. Fuck you, Luke.
You're starting to look strained. If you want your picture taken so badly, I'm sure the photographer would oblige.
Nah. Asa na tayo sa branching? Here we go.
Oh. Almost there.
Yes.
What is it that you want to do then?
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
We need to get you away from the butler. You're starting to sound like him. No, I'm not joining Hana for an interior design magazine photo. What am I, a piece of furniture? Look, did a lot of you have anything else crucial to do today? Marianne?
There are still some little things to do. It isn't the end of the day yet.
Yes, but you're paid hourly, aren't you? Per day? Really, I don't care. You and the others can just take off for the day.
Why is he dismissing us early, all of a sudden? Is this about the possible security threat? Did my question get him all wary and paranoid that he would just send the workers and I away? I realized that threats are of actual concern to these rich and powerful people. I imagine, whether anyone wants to or not, they get a few enemies here and there. I'm sure the foreman and his works can be trusted. Sa tingin ko dapat ito, workers.
Workers.
Foreman and his workers can be trusted and are of no threat. Well, at least I trust the people I'm working with. I understand if he doesn't know them from a can of paint. Still, won't it be safer if there are people around who can watch their back?
You're the boss. My being paid by the day aside, I won't be held responsible for any significant delay caused by your decisions. I'll try to get around that, of course, but I'll just remind you of the fact.
Whatever, take forever with the house. I don't give a bloody damn. Don't you worry, you're still getting your money. Just sod off, go crawl around a pub and find yourself a good lay.
Paranoid. What?
Gagong puta.
Tama pa. Paranoid or aggravated as he might be, this conversation certainly didn't have to warrant that sort of remark.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Maybe we will.
Bata rin eh. Maybe I will.
Best grill pa rin,
Best,
best grill.
best grill. Walking out of the kitchen, I just accept the fact that whatever he says will go while under his roof. Mrs. Wright and the photographer are still far too busy in conversation to notice me, even as I make my way through the dining hall. Besides, I didn't want to ruin their fun.
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Going to the foyer has me stumble upon the family butler once more, who raises a brow at my presence.
And where are you off to in a hurry, Miss McCulloch? The foreman is looking for you.
The Bratwurst wants us off the clock. He's dismissing us early because of... Oh, I don't know. He just wants us out of here.
I'll go and call a cab for you then. It would be for the best that you leave when he asks you to.
I don't doubt it.
Paano siya tatawag ng cab? Does he make a phone call?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ako 26 na.
Sinong babysit ito? Okay. A discussion about it. Best grill.
Best grill. And one child.
My ride back to the city doesn't take too long to get here. Granted, there were some difficulties at first because the driver didn't know where the Ermengarde mansion is. He tried to have us hand over GPS coordinates from our smartphones or some other techno babble I didn't care about, and the butler didn't understand. But as soon as we told him it's that haunted mansion over in Ansem Village, he knew just the place. He finally headed over, albeit with some hesitation. Anyway. All the way back to the city, the driver keeps complaining about that place giving him the willies. It gave me willies? But it gave me? Anyway, it gave me willies too. I would have loved to snap at him. But as soon as the thought occurs to me, another blossoms in the forefront of my mind. One that has somehow bothered me greatly, more than my exasperation over whiskey and this project. Or wanting all of it to stop. There has been no Lorraine whispering over my ears today. Why are you looking for it? Isn't that a good thing? Not being haunted today? Worse. I find myself searching for it. See, yeah, that's worse. That's bad. Searching for her. But damnu uirthi. Sounds like Elven language. Diba? Pag sa...
O nga no. Damnuirti. Damn you, Luigi.
I think she will explain anong language. Loose ends, fucking bloody loose ends everywhere. Water. I thought I've already moved past this years ago, and it does nothing to help me curb my frustration. If anything, it only ensures that I want a stiff drink. And where else do I go to drink? Dry dock.
Maynilad.
Ang shrimp Maynilad, mahal kong Maynilad. Tuesdays are for karaoke. Wednesdays, improv. Oy, pare things.
Oy.
Improv, pare.
Up to.
Usually, it's these four guys who did hilarious games. The one with Irish drinking songs are always a crowd favorite. Though I love a good laugh, stand-up comedy isn't my thing. And without Pam or Haruna, or any other distractions, I end up drinking a lot more this time. And when there's several bottles of beer in me, I get really, really embarrassing.
Hey! G! Psst! G, come over here.
Hey, G.
I need you for
G.
something.
G. It's a good thing that the bartender is a nice fellow. I'd probably have been kicked out of other places by now. Worse.
What do you mean, worse?
Ewan ko. Ginumpi. If push comes to shove, all he would do is give me an easy smile and shake off his head, even when he's attending to other customers. Just like now.
Give me a moment, will ya? I gotta go check on her.
Bartender G. He's some Asian guy. And I'm
Boses
pretty
niya yung ano, yung chief,
Oo
chief
nga
of
eh.
police.
Yung si Lee. Officer Lee?
Actually,
Baka ano lang, same ano.
same VA,
Same VA.
most likely.
Ano lang, ni-recycle.
Na-recycle lang.
And I'm pretty sure I've seen him here before a couple of times, although he never talks to anyone else except G. The girls used to be all over him too, but he always turned them away.
I'll be here. You go do that before she falls over.
Si Ash.
Yeah. Ngayon ko lang napansin tayo ng haba pala ng buhok ni Ash.
Oh, that's gonna be my next hairstyle, bro.
Sige nga. O, kailangan ano ha, ganyan na ganyan talaga ha.
Actually, papunta na sa ganyan yung makikita mo sa Sabado.
Talaga? Long hair ka na?
Oo.
Para ka na si Pinocchio sa Lies of P.
Hindi pa naman ganun kahaba. Almost
anyway,
there.
Almost. Basic. Tapos Sabado si Tin Kalbo. Hindi ko ma-imagine si Tin Kalbo.
Magugulat ako pag yung ano ni Tina nawala, yung balbas ni Tina nawala. Yun ang nakakagulat.
Tignan natin. Malay mo, di ba? Si Nave. Pinagalitan din siya ng nanay niya.
All right. What is it?
Kamukha din niya si Lee eh.
Oo nga eh.
Siya talaga yun.
Timeline.
May ano lang siya, may bigote.
Undercover siya pare, undercover.
Do you need someone to help you get home?
Bartender, pour the wine.
I think that's enough alcohol for you, little missy. I'm cutting you off.
May gantong klaseng bar kaya sa Pilipinas. As in, ayun na yung ganyan. Of course, maraming like bars na may bar, di ba? Pero yung gantong ano talaga, like ambience talaga, may bartender sa likod na nag-ano, di ba? May ganun
Meron
kaya.
naman siguro.
Yeah. It would be chill.
Siguro, meron naman siguro.
Sana.
Kasi it would be weird kung wala pa nagtatry gumawa ng ganyan dito sa Pilipinas.
Oo, kasi basing sa mga hilig ng Pinoy, gusto nila yung mga ano eh. Maingay, loud music, tapos karaoke, di ba? Ganun.
If ever man meron, most likely high-end bar yung mga ganyan.
Yung yung Rue Bourbon, kung saan tayo umiinom. Before, I think they were originally going for this kind of ambience. Kasi 'di ba pagpasok mo 'di ba may bar din doon. Ganito. Tapos talaga sobrang chill talaga dati doon kasi dati nung bukas pa yung dry dock, yung malakas pa yung dry dock, yung vapor. Doon nagpupunta yung mga bata 'di ba? Tapos sa Rue Bourbon puro mga
mga
mga tito. Kaya sobrang chill doon dati. Ngayon, well, wala nang dry dock eh. Anyway, A whine comes from the back of my throat as he pulls my bottle away. I have no hope of getting them back once they're behind the counter. Even in my drunken mind, I don't dare hop over it for them. Because what little sense I have left knows I'd sooner take a floor dive than succeed in wresting a bottle from a sober man. But that doesn't stop me from trying to reach out with my arms like a stupid idiot anyway. He smiles and shakes his head, just like I know he would, before going back to the other guy.
Right now, where were we? How you holding up, boy?
With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep on the bar right there and then. But I'm not ready to stand up and try to trek back home just yet.
Same old, same old. I'm still on the Luxborn firm case.
Ba't may story update? Wala lang. Just
Wala lang.
progressed.
Those blokes they talk about being in dark suits, whisking people into the night or some shit and all that. Didn't the media call it some ridiculous name in the morning news?
What is it this time? Wait, don't answer that. They've called it a lot of things. As long as people don't start running around claiming they're the Illuminati.
Hey, Illuminati! Ilong ni Arvin! Illuminati.
Balik ka nga doon sa ano? Doon sa...
Saan?
Tag dito? Sa story.
Sa story nino.
Diyan, sa ano? Sa... Anong tawag doon? Taka na. Doon sa branching tree.
Anong sa branching tree? Ano meron?
Balik ka lang sa clip. Ano kaya yung ano, magiging cause ng... Or ano kaya yung ibang... Ano yun? Kasi if I remember correctly, yan din yung nakuha kong ano eh. Path. Doon sa part na yan.
Wow. I'm not sure. Maybe... Hindi ako sure kasi... Ano ngayon? 26. No?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe a death. Death ni Isabella siguro. Kasi ito 25, diba? So, dapat Zachary steals or... So she died on 25. Ayun. Come morning, Zachary. See you so looking for Isabella. If Isabella died, yung iba yung call dito. Isabella died. Ewan ko, hindi ako sure. Yun yung...
Siguro nga.
Ano na ito.
Iba siguro yung pinag-uusapan nila ni ano, ni Ash dyan sa part na yan.
So, what have you got for me this time, G? Anything good?
Slow down there. You haven't even told me what sort of dealing dosh we got.
Dealing dosh?
Who are you looking into this time?
Their talk would have interested me, would have kept my attention if I gave a damn. But in my current state, I can barely give two fucks about the things going on around me. All these words are just buzzing, barely surfacing from the sea of sounds that is the pub. And it would have stayed that way, perhaps even drowned, if I didn't hear his name.
Luke Wright. You know the guy. And don't pretend like you don't, G. It takes a special kind of ignorant not to know who he is.
That smug blonde who likes throwing round his money. He was just here a few days ago, as a matter of fact. Great tipper, if you think him just dumping a wad of cash on the counter after having too much whiskey counts as tipping. Why are you asking? He dirty?
You have no idea, G. He's probably the worst sort you can imagine.
Luke fucking Wright. Fucking whiskey. Even without him around, I'm still hearing about the guy. What the absolute fuck? Despite this, I find myself getting up and sauntering over to join them before I pipe up.
Is this smack talk about Luke fucking Wright I'm hearing, eh?
Private conversation here, lady.
There's only amusement on G's face. The Asian guy, he starts to look ticked off as hell.
Don't worry, Holmes, she's clean. And she might be able to help you with your, predicament.
Course. A drunk's just stumbled through here with what I need. Get real, G. No offense, lady, but you're smashed.
I know, right? Nothing beats being drunk after a hard day's work. Especially when you're working for Mr. Luke Wright.
So, she works for the guy? Doesn't that make her, I don't know, suspect?
See, have a little faith in me, why don't ya? I don't have much, and you might as well have something to go off. You're the one who was so desperate to come running to me for business.
Yoo-hoo! Still right here, fellas. 5'11", can't miss me. Unlike Shorty over here. What's with that mad look? You want to dance, boy? You don't look like you can bust a groove. Maybe a leg, but with that fancy coat of yours.
Add insult to injury, I move directly behind him and use the top of his head as an armrest.
Gag.
But when he shakes me off, I plop into the seat right next to him.
Don't try me. You can hardly stay on your feet. We don't want to ruin your fancy coat, do we?
Ah, children, the both of ya. But you're still standing after all that, are ya? Matt, you see this giantess? She's a legendary regular here. Been drinking like there's no tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous. Can't do that anymore or my liver will give out on me. Good with the mic, too. Don't see you much recently, but I guess you're always busy, aren't you? You're some fancy designer or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I know you. You were at the open house for the mansion.
Yeah, that's right. Marianne McCulloch. I'm a famous interior designer extraordinaire. Ooh, that rhymes. Anyway, you guys were talking about that weenie Luke Wright, right?
Or something. Can't really talk about it. I don't even know if I can trust you, even if G said you're clean. But anything would be of help.
Well, I don't gossip about my clients, if that's all there is to this.
You wanted to gossip about him a few minutes ago, Marianne.
And that was the beer talking, not Marianne.
You won't mind if we ask the beer a few questions then?
Maybe. Depends on who's asking and what they're asking.
Maybe.
How dare that sleazy wanker treat me like I'm a piece of furniture?
Oh, another story update.
Pero ito kasi, because we slept with him.
And by wanker, you mean Luke Wright.
Yes, Luke Wright. I just said that. Iskultona kranthe.
What the fuck? Iskotona Krothan Thai. I guess it's really Elven language.
Wala na ba yung umitim na yung kuyukot ni Ash?
Completely different from his pretty wife. And Annie? Hannah? Anna! I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing something dirty behind her back. Even bought him a mansion. Lucky bastard.
So it was the wife who bought the place.
Are you going to repeat everything I say? Yes, it was the pretty one. The one with the long hair. She bought the place. Sort of.
With how drunk you are, I don't even know if you're aware or sure of what you're saying.
Excuse you? I am at least 350,000% sure that I know what I am saying. I am a professional. I'm totally sure of what I'm saying. Do you think just because I'm drunk I don't remember facts? I remember everything. I remember every little thing as if it only happened yesterday. I bet you don't remember young McGurn's full name.
Who's young McGurns?
Of course you don't. Here we go. John William, pure mad, mental inte, your body, Simpson Clay, Gimel Chip, the Bam, Rib Racker, no real young rebel, ya best Saint John McGurn.
What the fuck?
Who the fuck is that? John William, pure mad, mental, inte, your body, Simpson, Ray, Gemel Chib, the Bam, Rib Racker, no real young rebel, ya bass, Saint John McGurn.
See? I have a photo Photographic memory. Or read memory. I don't remember which is which.
Back to the wanker. Nothing off about him or anything? Nothing shady that sets the alarm bells in your head?
Alarm bells. Nothing ringing. Maybe someone's mobiles. I'm getting tired. Enough for me to press my cheek against the cool countertop with my eyes shut tight. Eventually cracking one eye open just in case they thought I fell asleep. I grin at Holmes.
Aside from being a sleazy piece of shit, he did get all in a tizzy whenever something about security came up.
Makes sense. I don't blame the guy. Place that big, you'll need a couple dozen people stationed around if you want to make sure nobody you don't want gets in. And the guy seems like the type that doesn't like too many people.
Oh, but he does like the ladies. I don't think his mummy hugged him enough or anything.
These are serious questions, Marianne. Lives might just be at stake here.
What do you expect? She's smashed.
Why am I even doing this? This is getting me nowhere, G.
G.
She's not a reliable source. The chief, let alone the courts, aren't going to take the word of a drunk. This'll be dismissed, and I might be in trouble if they try to argue that I coerced a testimony out of her. This is a fucking train wreck.
You're a fucking train wreck now, if you ask me. Maybe it's about time you apply the brakes and stop for a bit.
The wave of despair that comes over the both of them is palpable. My feelings had a taste, it'd be bitterer than the beer I'm full of. It gets me thinking, though thinking doesn't get me far with too much shite in my system.
You know that's not an option. Thanks for being patient, McCullough. Good luck with your work on that mansion.
Speaking of that mansion, there's something going on in that place. Something. As ocht day! No wonder Mr. Right likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke. Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh? Suspicious shite, I'm telling ya. Explains why she's so reluctant.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Before I get another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts to spin. I quickly slap his hands away the best I can and send him the foulest look I can muster.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me up chucking on your pretty hair.
Pipsqueak.
But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from BRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails. And we thought it was some joke or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. Whiskey, that's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either. I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere. When rich snobs give you that face, no wonder the Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I? Anyway, just like I said, in that man...
Anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
Basically.
Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
And he really is pale, paler than before at least. I can see the gears turning in his head on overtime. Suddenly, he shoves a card in my hand. Ashton Frey, Detective Inspector CIDs. Ashton Frey at luxborn.police.uk. Ang gusto ano nila eh, no?
Yung card
Business
nila.
card nila.
Oo nga.
On it, his name, Ashton Frey, and his number. But he has second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips it into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady. But listen to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash. If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
The guy is quick on his feet, already up and at him as soon as the numbers leave his lips. Is the card? Watching him as he maneuvers. Mali spelling ng maneuver. Wala dapat yung O.
Oo.
Anyway, watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pubgoers is enough to tire me out. Fast as he can, he's at the door and throws us a smile. And that's all we get before he's gone. Just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
Swimming in cocktail. Mumbling a sleepy thanks, I doze off on the spot, face pressed on the counter. Already, I dread the pain I'll have for sleeping in such a position. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. Oy! Them again.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie?
Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
Not that I can get much sleep to begin with. ... October 28th. Okay. This is the, ano na, housewarming party na.
I think.
Yeah. Do people ever have the feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still it eventually tires them out? Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Though moments like these make all the hard work worth it. Definitely.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
We're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction on a client's face is enough for me to push through. Let's face it, in between my exasperation at Mr. Wright's antics and her, I've been burning the candles at both ends. Can't even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face. Dead girl. Dead. He's dead. I have to keep reminding myself that burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body 6 feet under. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead. I should be bothering myself with the living. Too bad the living are usually as complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites way past their honeymoon phase. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Why she thinks a single woman like me would be the best source of relationship advice is beyond me. Still, I talk and answer to the best of my abilities. Without realizing it, I'm already pouring out a part of me that I had thought were long gone. I'd like to believe my words will be of some help to Mrs. Wright. If I'm honest though, they are of some help to me, like some weight have been taken off my shoulders. Lorraine.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
The weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it? Maybe.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
Your favorite
Busy.
Busy.
Busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I changed that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
Though I shouldn't dwell on the dead, I shouldn't just callously forget about them too. Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft that she would so easily miss things like a party for it. Outside the parlor, people hurry about here and there in preparation for the Wright's grand housewarming party. None spare me a glance as I slip past them, each working on their appointed roles and not daring to slack off while they work for what is probably the most powerful couple in Luxborn. I make it into the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. When is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? The greatest one yet that is worthy of being called a quest. A quest!
A quest.
An adventure!
Adventure!
I'm not acting as Marianne McCullough, the professional interior designer, when I chose to lie about being too busy for a party. Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. Just thinking of it like that makes it a bit easy. But it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I'm actively seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing and find myself imagined grand quest fall flat. And who would have thought that the gatekeeper to my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally?
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails! We are on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butler comes from the cellar and into the kitchen, hailed by a couple of others. People who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. He raises a brow, seeing me just standing there by the hatch, by the trap door. It almost looks like he's going to throw me out for being in the kitchen without permission. Then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize themselves with their surroundings. Meanwhile, he continues to stand there, preventing entry into the darkness beyond.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now. I request you leave.
Fraulein.
Hmm?
Fraulein. Di ba may kantang, Fraulein?
Meron. I'm not sure. Pero, Fraulein. Oh.
Fraulein.
What?
Fraulein.
What the fuck is that?
Alam ko ganun yun eh.
May lumabas, song by Bobby Helms.
I think yun. Naririnig ko kay Daddy yun eh.
Talaga. Maybe that's it. Kasi yung chorus niya is, Fraulein, Fraulein, look up toward the heavens. Each night when the stars
Yan.
start to shine. Yun?
Yan.
Oh, nice. Hindi ko alam yung kantang to. Pakinggan ko nga mamaya.
I was just looking around for any last minute things, yes?
Yes.
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about. Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
The look he gives me as he says this is almost chilling. If life was a game book, he'd probably be the true neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity. I thought you have 8 in charisma.
Oo nga.
Maybe, baka na rin, baka 8 din yung sa dexterity niya, di ba? Who knows? I don't play D&D.
Same.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place.
Pero sabi nila matagal daw yun eh. Yung like isang session ng D&D. Like hindi siya...
Depende saan.
Depende saan?
Depende sa ano tawag dito? Game Master. Kung gaano kahaba yung ginawa niyang anong tawag doon? Skirmish or...
Campaign.
Or campaign. Kung gaano kahaba yung campaign ng Game Master.
So it's the Game Master na gumagawa ng like story or whatever? Quests?
Yes.
Talaga? Hindi medyo, well, hindi naman mahirap. Kasi if you like, if mahilig ka sa mga fantasy stuff, yung mga ganun, madali lang para sa'yo mag-create ng mga scenarios eh. Pero, matrabaho pala maging Game Master.
Oo, gago matrabaho yun. Ano yun eh, may nabasa akong noon one time, I think sa YouTube or YouTube sa Facebook or something, na meron silang, magtutropa sila na naggaganon ng D&D. Tapos, yung Game Master nila, nalaman lang nila after a few weeks, na yung ibang ginagawa niyang campaign is from episodes ng mga anime, mga ganon.
Talaga? Hindi nila napansin na napanood ko na to yung ganun.
Hindi. Ano lang, parang underrated animes yung ginagamit niya or mga hindi masyadong kilalang animes yung ginagamit niya.
Well, I guess as a player okay lang. Para sa akin as a player okay lang yun. Kasi, di ba? Okay lang naman yun. It's not really an issue.
Kung ako yung player, okay lang yun. Kasi syempre kung hindi ko alam yung anime, okay lang yun. Kasi it doesn't really do anything for me. Kasi I had fun naman, di ba?
Anyway. If given the chance, I don't know. I'm not really sure. May gagastusin ba sa Kasi may isa pang tabletop game na diba, is Warhammer 40k, which is
Warhammer.
If you would get into Warhammer 40k daw, sobrang mahal eh. Parang ang dami mo talaga i-shell out na pera eh. I think D&D hindi naman, no?
Hindi naman siguro.
Like,
kasi
may
most
mga
likely
props ba
kailangan
sila,
mo na doon yung mga
minifigures nila or something? Wala naman.
I think lang, kung meron man konti lang, siguro yung mo lang, yung character mo lang ang kailangan mo siguro. Tapos yung dice. Tapos yung siguro kung may kayo, yung I don't know, yung backdrops or something like that siguro. Pero hindi naman siguro siya kasing mahal ng Warhammer. Kasi Warhammer, ang dami mo talagang kailangan bilhin eh.
Oh, army talaga yung army mo. Tapos pipiturahan mo
Oo.
pa kung ano. Stuff like that. Anyway, imagine ko, no? Tatayo na tayong tatlo nila pinaglalaro ng D&D. Tayo sobrang gulo siguro nun.
Oh, gago.
Hindi nasunod yung ano, hindi nasunod yung game master. Hindi. No. Kami ang masusunod.
Yes. We are the master.
Okay.
So, just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble. Both the bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and a disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise. And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out. But
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9, 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself.
9!
9.
The bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
He steps aside begrudgingly. At this point, it looks like there's no turning back. Where are we? And the branching tree. Oh, at the final stretch. Where are we going? Up or down? Up or down? Who knows? Pero same na same lang yun, no? Parang mirrored na mirrored lang yun.
Mirrored na mirrored. Parang edits pa nga itsura ang puta.
The cellar greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before. And knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things. What I find weird lang dito sa picture is my cobwebs. Bagong-bago pa lang yung bahay eh, di ba? And kaka-move in pa lang nila. So it doesn't really make sense na may cobwebs. Di ba?
Eh, di ba old mansion naman na siya? Baka hindi na yung wine cellar. Hindi na isama sa refurbishing.
I mean, at least they should have at least cleaned it. Cleaned it, di ba? Like,
Sa bagay.
kasi kung sa di ba? Pag mag-open house ka, papakita mo rin yung loob ng wine cellar, di ba? Kasama yun eh. So, anyway, baka lang. Maybe they just added it for the spooky effect.
Makes sense.
The mirror that had been moved from the study is my goal. Saan tayo? Sa baba. I did not return to it after my initial discovery, but the thought of Lorraine, how much I want to see her again, even if it's just for one more time, keeps coming back to mind. As I walk through the cellar, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. Hey. Whatever few bottles were left behind here are now nothing but glass under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butler had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess, with red slick pooling from the remnants of a good drink. With how dark the place is, a person with a dark enough imagination can easily mistake it for blood. I can't help but think it is, despite the easy, logical explanation that had come to my mind, only because of what I'm about to do. It's merely a momentary distraction as I continue to the end of the cellar where the mirror stands. Propped up on the far wall, it gleams innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. How morbid to think this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires, and then twists it into an image so dark. That's what I had seen that day. Though I heard Lorraine many times, I only had seen her here within its frame. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many were wasted away in front of it, enamored, and how many were frightened away by what they saw. Yet as I stand before it now, nothing. I can barely see my own reflection in this dark.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall?
You see? Siya rin, alam niya, mirror, mirror on the wall. Oh. It's not magic mirror on the wall. Kasi ano yun? Anong effect yun? May...
Mandela.
Oh, yun, the Mandela effect.
Something? Anything?
Nothing. Touching its surface doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There is no sudden surge of power and I'm not suddenly granted sight. It stays what it is. A mirror. Was Lorraine's appearance in the mirror all some sort of fever dream? Am I really that burdened with guilt and despair that my mind would eat itself in my stress and have me hallucinate such things? Either way, just going here on some crazed obsession for a girl long gone must warrant me a trip to a doctor. Already I feel ill. After a few more minutes, in the hopes that something would change, I turn around to leave. I can just go back upstairs like nothing ever happened, perhaps drop by the party for some hors d'oeuvre, then go home and collect myself. Besides, Mrs. Wright is expecting me and I'm...
Going to leave me again then, are you?
I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. Much as it pains me, I don't look back. If I'm just hearing her again, desperately delusional, and I look back to see nothing, I don't want to give myself false hope. When I feel fingers around my wrist pull at me, I look back in shock. My first thought is, how in God's name is this possible? And the second is, Lorraine. Her hands are cold.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
I don't know what to say, and I can only stare at her in wonder. She stands there in the mirror, with only her arm extended outward for my sake. I look at the hand still holding my wrist, and when she sees me looking at it, she moves it so that our hands are intertwined, fingers weaved together. Seeing her there and feeling her touch meant I'm not crazy. Though, however impossible and unexplainable this is all to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pulling her out from there is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. Can be together again, Lorraine and Marianne. Nothing had ever happened. But that would be all a great big lie, wouldn't it?
What? Cat got your tongue?
Not your tongue. Yes.
Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
What?
Parang hindi siya Irish.
Hindi siya arranged?
Irish.
Irish. I don't know. Baka iba yung nationality niya. Si Marianne lang siguro Irish. I'm not sure. Ano nga niya? Papakinggan nga ulit.
Don't just look at me like that. Say something. What? Cat got your tongue?
Or maybe may hint ng Irish accent eh.
Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Diba? Yung say something. Yung parang ganun.
Something,
Baka ano lang, hindi as thick yung accent niya compared kay Marianne, di ba?
Parang, sige. Siguro.
Even if this thing were some magic portal that could bring back the dead, that doesn't erase anything. Just looking at her, still a young teenager, while I'm already a grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that blinds me. I've seen her twice now, always behind the mirror. This is real if this isn't some delusion, then why can she only exist behind the glass?
Yeah. You have no idea how happy I am to see you. It's been so long.
You don't look happy.
I really am happy. But at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened. To you.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me this peculiar look, and before my eyes, he moves to step out of the mirror. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, almost as if I'm afraid.
I don't know how this is possible. But whatever this is, it isn't real. You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you. You're dead.
A deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two, seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie. But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you, as long as you stay with me, Marianne. That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
Pero ano yun, no? Parang, ano ba to? This is quite a powerful ghost. Diba? If the ghost can, dig up the past of someone.
Oo nga eh.
Diba? A scary ghost.
Pati yung deepest, darkest secrets mo gago.
Oo nga eh. That was the plan. I came down here looking for her for closure. But this isn't just closure. This is something else entirely. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. Do I leave or do I stay? Of course we leave. We're not gonna kill the best girl.
Yes.
I will need to move on. Ta-da! Closure. That's all I came here for. Whatever this is, it might as well all be just a devil's trick. And I might as well make some use of it, right? I say nothing at first for fear of angering whatever phantom this is. I take Lorraine's hand and bring it up to my lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. Takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me along. Step back into the mirror until only her arm is extended again.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself. I know it's too late. I'm sorry. But
the thought of being with a dead girl did not agree with me, not one bit.
I can't stay with you.
Goodbye, my first love.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife?
Yes.
That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
This is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did, what I didn't do.
She thinks she can guilt me into being complacent. Parang mali spelling ng complacent. Is it the right spelling?
I think. Tama, I think.
Tama.
Tama.
Tama. Parang weird lang. Anyway. But she realizes otherwise as I pull my hand from her. And going by the look of anger on her face, an anger that runs cold, she didn't like the fact that I'm not some puppet on a string. Had she chosen her words carefully, I would have accepted whatever punishment Lorraine chooses to give me. Guilt had ran my life and it might have very well ended it. I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Whoever or whatever this shadow is, my gut tells me she's not Lorraine. Yet I keep talking as if she is.
I broke your heart. not your neck.
uh, uh, I, I, I know she's trying to be like all romantic about this, closure stuff. Pero that's a very weird thing to say. Broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dare to admit? Yes, that was my fault. But I never meant to hurt you like that.
Despite my words, no matter how sincere they are, she appears angry, enraged, in fact. Been years since I last saw that face, and even now, the memory of it is still etched deeply in my mind. The hurt, the tears, and the hate spilling from her eyes that day, the moment I rejected her. Ano ba niya nireject? Rejected her na, no, I don't love you? Or, kasi iba yung na, pag you reject na, no, I don't love you, that hurts more compared sa, we can't right now because, I gotta study and I have a scholarship to, to keep up.
I think,
anyway.
I think, bigla up and lang. Parang bigla na lang, I think yun eh. If I remember correctly, parang nagkaroon ng doon sa run ko kasi di ba pinatay ko siya noon.
Oh.
Parang sinabi niya na bigla na lang siyang bigla na lang siyang naging cold or something like that.
Anyway, tinenda niya ng Odds Bunny meme. No.
No.
No. Rejected myself for who I am. And she definitely will hate what I'm about to do next. To my left, a wine rack. And from there, I take a bottle and pray to all the saints I can remember, for all my sins, for every hurtful words I've uttered, for what I have driven her to do that day, what I forced her into.
What are you doing?
I do it without thinking twice. Quickly, before I can hesitate, I grab a bottle and send it straight towards the mirror. Shards of the bottle and the mirror are sent flying everywhere as Lorraine's screams echo in the cellar. Bitter, hearing, like every wounding accusation she hurled at me. They've never left me, I doubt they ever will. But with this, I can move away from them, from her, live my life as I should, free from the burden. Her burden. Because the Lorraine I know, the real one, the person I loved, will never want me carrying this to my death. As the screaming dies down, I can't help but mutter weakly.
It's done. It's done. Oh, Lorraine. Forgive me, Lorraine. ...
I take some time to compose myself, breathing in and out, stamping down on the tremors still racking my hands, straightening out my jacket and fixing my hair. All a weak attempt at returning myself to someone resembling my normal self. This would probably be easier to do so with a mirror, but I likely won't be able to stand looking at one for a long time.
Well now, I should probably go back up there. Party to attend, rich socialites to do business with, and food to eat. Mrs. Wright will be happy if I make some time for it anyway.
Yet, one last time, the shattered glass beneath my feet.
I'm sorry, Lorraine. May you see God's light on the path.
Anong religion ni Mary? Roman Catholic. Turning around to leave, and for good this time, the uneasy smile on my face falls as I see Lorraine, whole and well.
Come on, Mac. You really didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You get bonus points for trying. But you should know an 8 in charisma is not enough to turn undead.
She advances towards me, backs me against the wall. Can't even reach for another wine bottle without putting myself within her reach. Despite my earlier bravado, I didn't think she'll be able to exist at all without the mirror. Can you blame me though? It's not like I'm an expert on the supernatural.
That's not. You shouldn't be.
What? Out of the mirror? Did you think just moving on will erase what you did to me? You're nothing but a murderer, Marianne. A murderer!
Stay back. You're not real. Leave me alone. Stop. I'm trying to move on with my life, so why won't you let me? Please, just get out of my head and leave me be.
I try to find an exit when there's a click. The next thing I know, I'm falling back into darkness. Behind closed door. Journal updated. Is the new thingy. Oh. Bloody, yeah. And then iba pala yun. Hindi yun. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I fall on my back and the door slams shut behind me. In a daze, I look around warily and find myself in another room entirely. On the other side of the wall, some sort of secret passage, perhaps an underground tunnel that has me wary and frightened. It also proves that the oddities in the mansion's floor plans are a lot more than just little discrepancies. ... I expect Lorraine to jump out at me from the darkness at any time. A breeze blowing through the tunnel has me relieved, though, at the idea that there is still a way to escape should that happen. That is way better than being trapped underground with only God knows what that was. A funny thought comes to mind as I start walking to where the exit might be. I think about how Mrs. Wright would be so disappointed if I didn't show up to the party. I imagine how furious Mr. Wright would be for breaking one of his wine bottles. Even Johan's reaction comes to mind, though I don't really know that guy. One thing's for sure is that I would be calling Cam and Haruna for a drink as soon as I get out. That noise has me wary. A ghastly thing, a corpse of a woman, leans on the wall. Her arms and limbs, almost every inch of her lithe body, is peppered with wounds and rotten flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood and gore hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here? Oh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
I flinch as the thing twitches. And as soon as it opens its eyes and looks at me with a smile, there's nothing on my mind but horror. I break into a run. I try to keep on running, no matter how much my legs and feet scream at me to stop. I keep going, even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The scampering of her feet, the words she tries to form with her bloody mouth, the painful sounds of bones grinding against each other as she moves closer and closer to me.
How long are these damn tunnels?
There's a split second where I know that thing is right behind me. Strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence looms over me. Then suddenly, I can't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still I struggle, up until I'm thrown to the side like some rag doll. I hit the ground on my side, and the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is my only indication that I'm still alive.
Please don't hurt me!
Ang weird na, no? Binuhay siya ng ghost. I mean, you've been killing people for a long time now. What's the reason when, you know?
Best kill daw, best kill.
Oo nga, best kill. You're too precious to kill. You must live. My body hurts and I keep my eyes shut tight, afraid of what might happen next.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
There's only dread, seeing how she's followed me even here. He leans over me, backs me further in the cell that I was thrown in.
Please. It's so cold. I don't want to be alone, Marianne. Why won't you stay with me? Why would you leave me? Why? What are you?
Lorraine turns around Lorraine turns and shifts into that thing from before. And with that same gruesome grin, it takes a step forward towards the cell. How convenient you were thrown into the cell with the camera in it.
Sinadya daw na.
Oo
Sinadya
nga.
ng ghost.
Sinadya, "Shh, dito ka. Watch this. Watch this. Look, I killed them." Towards me. I barely scramble to my knees when the door to the cell slams shut and it just stands there staring. Watch it. Come on, watch it. Di ako aalis hanggat panoorin mo yan. Shouts for help ring out in the tunnels. What?
The weird thing is, hindi pa lobat yung camera.
Oo nga eh. Diba? China-charge niya bro. China-charge niya. Up until na may poor soul that wanders in this, underground tunnel.
Watch it, watch it.
But none of them are coming for me. I'm more paralyzed and shocked by what is happening. My throat tightens at being fooled by the image of Lorraine at the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where?
Help me! Help me! Oh, help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl? Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time. Look at this thing, though! It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea. Oh man, that's genius!
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously? Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's where his kid would panic.
Guys?
The ghost is like, Aishiana, it's a good idea.
Why didn't I think of that?
Oh.
What? Spit it out! Behind you!
There, in the corner of the cell, a digital camera comes flickering to life, and the video has played back on the screen. It was hard to even consider paying any attention to it when my life is on the line. But when the ghost doesn't move, and the teenagers' mocking shouts of "help me" filled the cell, I just had to watch. And what I had seen, students, judging by their Saint Goretti uniforms, they were holding
That letter!
and that thing, the woman, the... Yes, you're right, I killed him. I used the letter, I stole their idea. Oh, I think that's the end. Right.
I think so.